Recently, the world came together to watch the best of the best athletes from their countries to compete in the 2024 Paris Olympics. There was so much hype around it and so much excitement about specific athletes and their performances and how well they did. And now we get part 2 of the Olympics, the Paralympics. The Paralympics were created to give opportunity to those with disabilities to show their best performance and be the top of the top athletes, just like all the athletes that you see in the Olympics. The Paralympics were first started in the year 1948 when a group of World War II veterans came together to create their own games for people who had spinal cord injuries from war. These games evolved into the first official Paralympics in the year 1960. The first Paralympics was in Rome, and there was 400 athletes who participated from 23 different countries, and they competed in 8 different sports. Looking at the Paris 2024 Paralympics, there are over 4,000 athletes, 22 different sports, and 549 medals will be awarded, with people representing 170 different nations around the world. Originally, the name Paralympics was because of the group of people who started it who had their spinal cord injuries. So para came from the word paralyzed, and then Olympics. And then later on, they decided that this didn't represent the Paralympics as wide as they wanted it to be. It wasn't a diverse name and didn't fit for everyone. Not everyone in the Olympics was paralyzed. But they ended up keeping the name because para stands for parallel or working alongside, meaning alongside with the Olympics. So for the 2024 Olympics, the opening ceremony is on August 28th, 2024, and then there are several events daily until September 8th. And September 8th is also the day they have the closing ceremony. I don't know about you, but when I watched the Olympics, I made sure to look at the schedule to make sure I was watching all of the events that I wanted to, and I mapped out exactly what I wanted to watch so that I wouldn't miss anything. I also enjoyed using YouTube to help me fill in the gaps when I couldn't watch it live, and that way I could make sure I watched the events that I wanted. And I'm definitely going to be doing the same for the Paralympics. Depending on where you live, it's going to be different on how you stream it. If you live in the United States like I do, it seems like Peacock is probably the best option if you want to see a wide coverage of the Paralympics. You can also go to the Paralympic Games YouTube channel, and they will be having clips and stuff there of the Paralympics. So if you don't want to pay for streaming or whatever, you can go for free and watch YouTube videos of the Paralympics, which is pretty great. So the way that the Paralympics work is they create classifications. This is based on the type of disability that a person has and how severe the disability is. And they find ways to equalize it so that everyone has a fair chance of getting a medal. One interesting example is goalball, which is an event that was specifically created for people who have low vision or a visual impairment. Because there's a wide range of how much vision someone might have, in goalball, they all wear blindfolds to equal it out and make it so that no one can see when playing goalball. Now I'm going to share with you the different events that exist in the Paralympics. These are similar to what's in the Olympics, but once again, they're just modified to work for those with disabilities.
There is archery, athletics, badminton, boccia, canoeing, climbing, cycling for track and road cycling, equestrian, football, goalball, judo, powerlifting, rowing, shooting, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, triathlon, volleyball, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair fencing, wheelchair rugby, and wheelchair tennis.
Of these events, which ones are you most excited to watch? Comment below. I personally am super excited to watch the goalball. As someone who's visually impaired, I think it's interesting to watch. I really enjoy watching swimming, and I really enjoy also watching volleyball. So those are the ones that I'm super excited to watch. Perhaps some of the sports I just listed, you might not understand exactly what they are or how they exactly adapt to them. And so one resource I highly recommend is you go to the Paralympic Games YouTube channel, and I'm gonna link the playlist for you below. They have a whole playlist where they explain the sport, and they were super helpful to me. I watched pretty much all of them. They have one for all of the 22 sports, and it explains exactly how the sport works and how it's different and modified from how it typically is done. And that way I can help you get excited and know exactly which sports you're interested in watching for the Paralympics. Now, something I want to make sure I point out is when it comes to the Paralympics, they're just as amazing and exciting as those who are in the Olympics. They just do things a little different than those in the Olympics. Sometimes that's having their mobility aids, so whether it's their wheelchair that makes it so they can participate, and sometimes it's just being in the sport in a way that's adapted so that it works well for them. This is a good time to keep in mind equal but different. The Paralympics are equal but different than the Olympics. It doesn't mean the people in the Olympics are better than the people in the Paralympics, or even vice versa. Something to keep in mind while watching the Paralympics is your mindset when you're watching it. See if you catch yourself thinking things like, wow, they're really good, especially for not even having a leg. Wow, I can't believe that person is doing X, Y, and Z, even though they can't see. That is mind-blowing. This is not a good way to think about it. They are simply humans, and they're finding a way to adapt what they do so that they can do what they love and what they are good at. We don't need to be idolizing them or creating inspiration porn, as they call it, when we're looking at them differently because of their disability. Simply look at them as the amazing athletes they are and recognize their achievements just like you would for any other person who is in the Olympics. And just because they have a disability doesn't make them different. They don't need to be pitied. Clearly, they're good at what they do. I mean, they did make it to the Paralympics after all. I hope that more people start watching their Paralympics and looking at it in a different way. This is a great time to be able to expose yourself to seeing how people adapt who have disabilities and seeing how they're just normal, average people who are doing what they love. This is a great opportunity to teach others, like your children or people around you, about disabilities and how they're just like everyone else. I hope that you enjoy watching the Paralympics, and if there's anything else you want me to cover on it, then let me know in the comments below and give it a big thumbs up so I know that you would want to see more content like this. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!